Coming at you Monday, every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Sorry, I lost my mic there. I am here with our co-hosts, Paul C. and Sol Dozer from the Sol Army. How are you guys?
Good, Kris. Thanks for having us on. We're happy to be here.
Chris,
Yeah. As
as
always, man, we couldn't do this couldn't do this without you. We have a lot of mints this week. We had a couple down weeks where all we did was talk about Utes, and then all of a sudden Utes is over, and lo and behold, we got some liquidity coming back into the market. You got Paul, you were talking with me earlier about that. Like, what does the market look like right now?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we talked about this quite a few times in the past few weeks that Utes and these big Sol NFT mints are likely going to be one of those tides that raises all ships. And it seems like that may in fact be the case. I actually saw a graph earlier today that showed the amount of transactional volume in Solana NFTs, and it's gone up significantly this week, and it sure as heck feels like it is well on the traders end. So yeah, I mean, we kind of were talking about how that would be the case, and it seems like in fact it is the case. So really exciting times, and we finally got some good mints that have happened already today, and some good ones to talk about for the week ahead.
Well, look, my mic went off. I was actually pitching that to Dozer. So,
Yeah.
Dozer, you see anything this week that has been a little bit different than the last couple weeks?
oh, I mean, I think if then uh, everything, people are making a lot of money, everything's minting, and there's a ton of volume. Paul, I know. What did you say? Like the amount of money flowing into NFTs right now is like 10x from where it was, you know, at this time last week or something.
Yeah, that may have been a bit dramatic of me. I don't know if it is in fact 10x, but it certainly is like doubled or tripled up. 10x it might be a little bit much, but yeah, there's certainly a lot more interest, a lot more money flowing through this ecosystem. And I I wonder, I think there's quite a few reasons why, but I think us heading into that ETH merge as well certainly does help with interest in the crypto markets in as a whole.
Yeah, I think we're seeing a lot of visibility. I can actually take a look here. So this, if you look at the screen here, this top point right here was right around the Utes Mint, the unique Soul receivers, right around September 7th or 8th or something. But and of course it corrected and retraced there, but we're still a little bit, we're still higher. We're starting to see a lot, money moving through this system, and I mean that's good for everybody. So and leading up to like what we're talking about here today for mints, like what have we seen already today? I mean, Monday came out of the gate really strong.
Yeah, we've seen a few really strong mints today already. So we've talked about SoulSwipe quite a few times. SoulSwipe did end up minting today on their own site. They
Oh, I mean,
definitely, it wasn't the smoothest mint. I know if you were watching, it certainly wasn't the smoothest mint, but they did end up minting out entirely in, I think, just barely got into their whitelist phase. So it almost sold out in that OG phase entirely. And I think the floor price right now is at about 3x. So I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was at about 3.7 or something like
Mm-hmm.
that last time I checked. So
Mm-hmm.
pretty good in that regard. We saw anybody's, I think it's called yeah, it's anybody's Tay Keith edition mint out earlier. And yeah, there's some other good ones to look at for the week ahead too. I know Dozer, did you see anything else you liked today that was minting out as well?
Looks like we may have some technical
oh yeah,
difficulties on Dozer's side. There he goes. All right,
Uh-oh.
so we're gonna wait till Dozer fixes some of the audio issues. he's got going on. It sounds like it's a little bit laggy over there. Um, yeah, this week is packed with mints. Came out of the gate strong. Let's jump into one of the mints we're going to highlight, and then we can get back to kind of talking about the market, the overall market here in a few minutes. Paul, do you want to share the intel on Worldwide Wade?
Yeah, Worldwide Wade is a pretty neat one. So it's going to cost, well, the one that's minting this week, it sounds like they'll have future collections as well. But the Worldwide Wade Pass is zero point 0.5 Sol on September 15th at a to be determined time with a 2100 supply, and that's going to be on Magic Eden Launchpad. So that's kind of the rundown of where this is and what it is, like how much it costs. And then we'll go a little bit into what we can see from this project. So Wade, or Worldwide Wade, is created in a joint effort between IPX, which is a self-proclaimed Korean equivalent of Disney, as well as KB, who is the creative director for a variety of like streetwear brands that are actually really popular. So Undefeated, Stussy, and Peace Minus One, which is the streetwear brand from G-Dragon. And the idea behind this Wade Pass that they're minting this week is like there's going to be a variety of utility behind it. There's also going to be a PFP collection, which is meant to be dropped in November. But this membership pass that they're dropping this week will allow for early access to raffles, NFTs, airdrops, and physical merch. So these pass holders will get some limited merch from these top worldwide brands every 1 to 2 months, which could be pretty interesting because this creative director, KB, has some pretty big ties to these big brands. Apparently also VIP access to IRL music and fashion events. And they've also announced their first collaboration already with a brand called Saint MXXXX, I believe, which is a brand which is co-created by the creator of Ready Made, which is another big brand. So it comes from a collaboration or a partnership between IPX, which is that Korean Disney equivalent, and Cripco. And the idea behind Cripco is that intellectual properties or IP should be owned by communities and not companies, as it is in Web 2. So I believe the idea behind Wade and Worldwide Wade here is that it's going to be an intellectual property and it will be shared between the Worldwide Wade community. So I think that one's pretty cool. And in terms of the pass, it's going to be one of those classic situations where there's lots of cool things that are offered, those IRL events, IRL merch, all sorts of things like that. And it's up to the team to execute and bring that value to the NFT. So I'm pretty curious to see how this one goes. And I honestly think with the market conditions at 0.5 and 2100, it'll be a pretty interesting mint.
Yeah, I agree. I think that we're gonna see, we're gonna see this thing sell out pretty quickly. And I'm gonna go out on a limb here, not financial advice. Let me look at the server here. That there's only a 2100 supply, like you said. It's 5 Sol, no,
Yeah.
0.5 Sol.
0.5, yeah.
Right. So runs around under $20, right, for the mint.
Yeah.
Time to be determined. If you are not on the friends and family list, my guess is that there is going to be it's not going to actually get to public, and there's going to be a huge, strong secondary market for this. Now, I'm not sure why they plugged in just the 2100 of these. I mean, this is obviously not a cash grab, right? Otherwise, they would have either been boosted up or boosted the boosted the cost of the mint. That these are established companies, and it sounds like they're to me, with this particular mint, trying to bring more of the Web3 community into their ecosystem. And this is just the start. My guess is that we're going to see more things coming from Cripco, with kind of Wade as the persona of the liaison. Like they made Wade into this
Yeah.
character that doesn't look like anybody else. He loves skateboarding, BMX, and making music. He's a DJ. Like they've got this whole persona, and the 2100 who have this little, whatever you get from the mint before you get your Wade airdrop will be kind of going on the journey through his life with him. So it's an interesting concept. I think they're going to do pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, today we just spoke about kind of the utility of the membership pass, but I think even bigger, we will need to touch back at a later date on that IP 3.0 and what Cripco as a whole is trying to bring into the space and introduce with that kind of decentralized IP. I don't think necessarily today we did, or we have enough time even to go into the depths of what the underlying value proposition of this entire company is, but that's what you can expect from that NFT itself coming up this week. But I definitely think that Cripco and everything deeper than just the pass and that base utility that we talked about here is going to be worth a cycle back and some merit for discovery in future weeks. So I'm really curious to see what we can kind of get out of here, and we'll make sure to have a deeper dive and more discussion on Cripco and what this IP structure and IP3 will look like in future weeks.
Agreed. You back with us, Dozer? Maybe. I got a picture of Dozer's profile here. So let's chat really quick about another project that was on our radar. Excuse me. When we were taking a look. Oh, again, sorry. We'll say the Wade before we move on. It mints on Magic Eden. They have their Magic Eden whitelist tool on that. What is next up on the docket today?
Yeah, the other project we thought would be notable this week is called Yukio. I'm sorry if I butchered that pronunciation. Ukiyo. The cost is going to be 1.5 Sol and a supply of 6,500. This one's minting on Wednesday, September 14th, and you can find this one minting on Solport. I know we were talking a little bit earlier about our experiences with Solport, and I think honestly they've been nothing but positive. I think they've been one of the few places that's really stopped people gaming their way through mints and making it a very, very fair and smooth mint. So yeah, I think Solport's honestly a great choice for projects. I don't know if that's a valid comment or anything like that, but I mean, every experience I've had on Solport has been super positive, and I just wanted to throw that in there. So what is Yukio or Yukio?
You can say Yukio.
Yeah,
no, you can say Yukio. Yeah,
Yukio.
Let's talk about what
We'll
it
call
is.
it
While you talk about that,
Sure.
I'm going to scroll through some of the art here that they have given sneak peeks.
Yeah. So let's talk about what is Yukio. Well, it's hard to know. There's not that much information about Yukio, but there's certainly a lot of hype and a lot of members in the Discord. They've got 27,000 in the Discord and 26,000 Twitter followers for a 6,500 supply collection. The art does look pretty clean, and it does seem like it's going to be a primarily brand-focused project like we've seen previously. This one did crack into the mints worth talking about this week because there is a large amount of stir on social media. I did find some available info on their lifestyle, and the idea is focusing on creating a collective of people with similar interests, culture, music, photography, and aims to surround those people with a community to support them in their pursuits. And I think that this is this one is going to be one of those that comes ultimately down to how good of a community can you create. Projects that are able to create a really solid community like this do end up thriving because people like engaging with the project and within the community. And on a side note, we did see some really cool stuff progressing in the right direction for music NFTs this week. And I know you guys saw this one as well. There's that Boombox boombox music NFT market that went live. So I think pretty interesting time to be creating a community around creators, such as music creators as well. And the space is definitely getting more, I don't know what the right word is, but more useful for creators of different mediums as well, with that music NFT market popping up. So I think this Ukiyo one is very dependent on a lot of factors, primarily dependent on hype, but there is a lot of stir about it, which is why I cracked into the mints worth talking about this week.
Yeah, excellent. I know it's hard to actually get in on their Discord's locked. Basically, you have to get invited in. They have quite a bit of, if I can see here, this is where I put this. They have 27,000 Discord members, and I apologize for Dozer's little army guy here. He popped he gave me his little army his Sol army profile picture. And it doesn't look like it's formatted correctly. So while we do this live and on the fly, sometimes we run into technical difficulties. Thank you everybody for putting up with them for this week. Promise next week we'll have this all under control. So Yukio,
I promise.
14th of September. There he goes. 14th.
Yeah, Yukio, 14th
September.
of September.
Okay, and you said
Soulport.
And you said Soulport. Okay, where can somebody find Soulport? Just is it Soulport.io?
That's a good question.
All right.
Yeah, I think
okay.
So usually they will put that mint link in Discord there for you.
Yeah,
but it is Soulport.io.
Yeah, and that's a really good. It's a really that is a really good piece of advice, Paul.
Launchpad.
Sorry. Yeah. I mean, well, Soulport's a good launchpad, but don't click on any links that you guys see in Twitter or get DMs from. If you're gonna go mint, make sure you use a burner wallet, because you're connecting to sites that you don't know. That you don't know if they have your best interest at heart or whatnot. Slow down, pay attention to what you're doing. You get your mint links from the actual projects itself. That's the safest. That is literally the safest way. The safest way to mint. And so as we move forward here and people become more educated, there's a lot of FOMO for these hype mints. Like we're going to talk about another one here in just a second called Gmmers, that people will start getting they'll start seeing links on Twitter and they'll end up getting their wallets drained. So just be safe. And if you have a question about it, hit other people up in your community and be like, hey, is this the real mint? Like there's no harm with asking questions like that.
Yeah, it's also important to note that a lot of the time these Discords, and this is especially important with GMers, says there will not be a stealth mint. There's no reason for the link to drop early. And we cannot stress this enough. It is much better to check the link, be slower, and miss the mint than mint on a malicious link and lose everything you've worked so hard for. So
yeah,
that's the usual mint safety. And always good to be on the side of caution and miss out rather than take a bigger loss because you are rushing through something or something similar.
Yeah. So GMers, where did GMers come from? I'm gonna pop up their website here, and we can just we don't know much about them, but we can at least talk about them briefly since they are minting this week.
Yeah, so Gmmers is actually. Hello?
What's up?
Hello.
Hey.
Is my audio working?
Yeah, we can hear you right
now.
Yeah, we can hear you right now.
Great. Oh my gosh, good to be back.
It's good to have you. It's good to have you back. You look like a soldier PFP.
That's my favorite picture. That's probably my favorite JPEG that I own. That guy right there. That's in the will never sell list.
That's in the never. I have a couple that will also never sell. Not that I'm talking about what's in my bags, but yeah, they're pretty fun. We were just talking about GMers, so taking a look here at the what the project is about to our limited
Yeah, so
knowledge.
GMers is a GMers. Do you want me to take this one away, or you got it, Dozer?
Have at it.
All right, GMers pre-mint 50,000 NFTs, and the idea is GMers being a transparent organization that is passionate about providing value to their holders. They want to be the world's largest DAO with that 50,000 mint, and they've got actually quite a bit on their roadmap for being a free mint of 50,000. So their tentative roadmap goals are some staking and raffles, raid to earn, which I imagine is Twitter engagement to earn, probably pretty similar to what we see from that Feeble Labs, if you guys are familiar. Building some software tools, creator hub, community building, and just in general spreading good vibes. And us from the Sol Army, you know, if you're about spreading good vibes, we do love that. So always good. And they've got this community team, their founder, Ace of Trades, and they're building a round table of the elites, which are a handpicked group of 15 to 20 builders, developers, and influencers from the space that are designed to provide advisory, help, and provide connections. So it'll be pretty interesting to see what happens with the 50,000 supply free mint. I think we'll see some pretty crazy secondary action, but these free mints have been doing reasonably well. So pretty curious to see where this one goes tomorrow. I think your mic is off.
Free mints are an instant value, at least for a short period of time. This particular mint, like you said, 50,000, it's a huge collection and actually something that I really like to see. Personally, I like seeing collections over 10K. That means that there's enough potential for the project to have quite a bit of liquidity behind it, and not necessarily for the project themselves, but for the market price. If you don't have a large percentage of people who are holding a large percentage of the collection, so I think it makes more robust. This is the first 50K collection that I've seen. There might have been more. I just not aware of them. If you're on the GM list, the people who are able to mint this during the whitelist period can mint 10, and there's 5,300 people on the whitelist. So that means that if almost everybody on the whitelist mints, this thing's going to mint out fairly quickly, and all the action is going to be on secondary. So it's going to be this is a really fun week to watch the Sol NFT ecosystem.
Yep, there's a lot of volume in the space, so it'll be fun. You'll see some crazy movements, some crazy mints, and it is a fun week to be in the space, and definitely not a time to reduce your involvement, I will say.
Yeah,
even though we are pretty much in a bear market, I would say.
I think we're solidly in a bear market, and honestly, like, I'm not seeing anything happen overall with the market for another year to 2 years. I mean, based on how history has, looking back at historical trends. We have new networks coming online. We have new people, new companies actually coming into Sol because they're seeing the value of the ecosystem with its proof of finality consensus mechanism. But we got Algo.
Big announcement this week, hey?
Yeah.
On Sol. Big one, with Helium moving over and adopting the Solana blockchain rather than their own blockchain. That's pretty good for Solana, for sure.
They're ditching their own blockchain.
Yes.
I'm so bullish on that move.
I mean, there's some... Go ahead, Dozer.
I remember paying attention to Helium last summer, and everyone was trying to get their hands on those Helium miners.
Yep,
and I think at one point the miners were retailing for like $400, and they were being resold for thousands of dollars on like eBay and things like that, just because they could not produce them fast enough for how badly people wanted to mine it. And the price reflected
Yeah, there
that
was
too.
certainly
And now
a
they're ditching
point.
that.
Yeah, I honestly don't keep up with the Helium project as well as I should. I don't know what's going on with that mining and everything like that. I just know they're making the shift over to Solana. So I
Yeah.
can't speak too much on that project as well. That's a little bit outside of the scope of my knowledge. But yeah, I mean, I just know that they're moving over to Sol, and the more usage we get on our native home old trusty blockchain, the better it is.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And for everybody who's watching, when we know, you will know. So we got a big week of mints. A couple that we highlighted here. Please let us know in the comments if you have any that you think the audience would like to take a look at. Always love to hear new mints because we can't be everywhere all the time, and there are literally 50 to 100 mints on the Solana in the Solana NFT ecosystem every day, so we can't actually keep up with all those. But we try to bring you guys the best intel here next week, I think, or in the week after. We may actually have a little bit more information out of a project that's in beta right now that Paul and Sol Dozer would like to share with you guys. But the intel will still be here Monday nights for you. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Give everybody give it a like. Make sure you tell your friends about it, and hit us up on Twitter and Discord. Paul Dozer, thank you guys so much for being a part of the show again.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Kris.
thanks so much for
Always
having
good
us.
to be
We're happy to be here every week.
I'm happy to have you here. Otherwise, people would have to listen to me for a half an hour. So it's definitely much better with it. So stay tuned as we grow this program. Again, we'd love to hear what you guys are minting this week. Pop them in the comments below. And until next time, NFT on.